So, for the first time in what seems like a while, probably since her debut record, I haven't been all that super excited for a new Poppy album. I mean, I kind of have been, but these singles she's been releasing haven't necessarily been the greatest, and I really was just trying to find some motivation to be like, maybe this album will be something. And now she's back on Sumerian Records with her fifth studio album titled Zig. This is actually her shortest to date, if you want to believe it. This thing falls under 30 minutes despite being 11 tracks. So at least you can say it kind of, goes by pretty quickly. Not to say that, it's because it's bad that I'm glad it flows pretty quickly. It's just, at some points, you definitely find yourself getting taken out of it, but since the songs aren't so long, it definitely doesn't last. The songs I didn't like, What It Becomes, Ones and Zeros, and Motorbike, they just, I don't know, I feel like those songs in particular had some weird voice pitching, or just those repetitive choruses that don't actually do anything. I feel like she's so much capable of better that these songs just kind of come as cop-out and more of a filler type thing. She needed songs to fill the album, and she picked these three for some reason. Now, I know what people are going to say about Motorbike, that it's a feel-good song about, I guess, just being able to find yourself and, I guess, be comfortable with who you are, and in some ways, your sexuality. I get that, but it's a cringy song that plays off the simple pop formulaic stuff that we hear on the radio all the time, when what's always made Poppy interesting is she doesn't necessarily, want to follow anything. She just wants to play by her own rules. So it was kind of surprising hearing a song like that in particular, where it's you can definitely hear this as top 40 material, and with her, that's just not necessarily how you should be seeing her music. Then in the OK tracks, we have Church Outfit, Linger, and Prove It. Church Outfit was kind of a weird one to kick the album off, because I feel like there was better songs that could have done it. It's a short song falling under 2 minutes, and I guess it does its job for just catching your attention right away, because it kind of comes in quick, so you have no time to be like, oh, this thing's starting off slow. No, you'd get right into it, so at least I'll give it props for that. While the other two, again, Linger, there's just no chorus, no structure to it, and I mean, other than the verses, the song doesn't have much to offer. And then, when we get to my favorite tracks, we have Knockoff, Hard, Flicker, the title track, and The Attic. These songs kind of show you what this album could have been had more songs had been like this. I mean, Knockoff is one of my favorite songs of the year. It was definitely my favorite single release from the record. And even Hard, it took a little bit of time, 5 or 6 listens for me to really go, oh, okay, this is a good song. I don't know, I guess it's just the catchiness and the way things kind of shift toward the end to a more rock-leaning element. It is definitely nice in that way. And then when we get to songs like Flicker, Zig, and The Attic, they all just kind of exemplify what this album is going for, and The Attic is actually a really, really nice track. It's, again, probably top 2 or 3 on this record in general. So, overall, this is round number 2 of Poppy having complete control of what she does on a record, and she's basically, kind of what she did the last 2 records with the rock stuff and the metal stuff, mixing it with the pop stuff. She's still done that here, but it's less of a metal aspect and more of I guess you can call it industrial. And there's portions where she does very well, and I would say that most of the album she does very well. There's just a couple of moments and a couple of songs that really throw this thing off kilter, and it's disappointing because this album could have been so much, even for its short runtime. It could have been much more, and I just, found myself kind of zoning out at some point in times with this record, which with her past couple of releases, we'll say her past 3, that hasn't necessarily been the case. I mean, heck, she's also released some great EPs, over the years as well, kind of in between album releases, and they've even been great for what they've been. But this is a good record, but I would definitely say it's, you know, probably the worst since her debut, which I'm not a big fan of her debut, but at least for this one, I can say it's a solid 7 out of 10. You know, there's great things about it, and I would recommend this to people, especially people who are fans of her older stuff that weren't necessarily following her into a rock and metal thing, because this has definitely got more pop elements than it does rock, although those elements also show themselves throughout portions of this record. The screaming is there a couple of times, and just other things that remind you of it. Kind of reminds me almost like maybe The Prodigy in a way, kind of mixing in with some sort of like Dua Lipa. I don't know, that's just kind of what it sounded like to me, because it's also very dancey throughout the album as well. So yeah, those are my thoughts. You can tell me in the comments below, what do you think? But until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.